I have about 4,632 things to do to all my different cars, but the rain has just been incessant and I don't have much of an indoor space to do all these things, so I've been trying to do what I can and it's been very unsuccessful. The biggest thing I need to do are things on my Volvo, because that needs to go in for an MOT soon or a test, because I need to drive it 6,500 kilometers to the Arctic Circle and back this October. And you think that's plenty of time, but it isn't, because I'm disappearing to Japan next month and I have about 1 million different things to do in that time. So I'm running out of time. But the problem is I can't not use that car, because there's a problem with this one as well. But let's get on with some bits and pieces. I'm going to do bits, like I need to fix some stuff on this, and then I'm going to fix some stuff on that, and then we'll see how much I've spent on the Volvo so far. Was it really a bargain? I'm not sure. I'm not really sure at this point. First and foremost, you might notice a slight problem there. Yeah, I don't know where that bolt is, so I'm gonna have to try and find a replacement. That was my problem, because I'm a fucking idiot. But I need to do that because I can't drive this car otherwise, obviously. I don't actually have the exact bolt. It's a real pain in the ass to find, so I've got a general M10, so I'm hoping that'll do. So I'm gonna fix that. Accurately representing how I feel right now. I did actually buy a spoiler for this thing, only to realise that it doesn't actually fit. So yeah, that doesn't line up. So a C1 spoiler does not fucking fit. So if anyone wants a C1 spoiler, yeah, let me know, because they don't fit the iGo. That's another fail. I don't know about you, like I seem to spend most of my time like failing things rather than actually making progress. I don't know if this is, I think this is just me, to be fair. It's fairly depressing, I'm not gonna lie. You feel like you get one step. No, actually I don't. I feel like I get zero backward. I'm going backwards. I'm gonna go and get the jack. I'll bring the jack up here because I also have some different spacers for the back of the Audi, because they're 20 mils, I've got some 15 mils, so hopefully that will make it so it stops rubbing so much on there. And then I've got a couple of things to do on the Volvo, so let's do all that, and then I'll explain what I'm going to do in my garage to try and mitigate some of this rain situation that means that I can't actually work on the cars, because I've got so much to do on that Volvo. And then we'll get into the whole cost of things, but let's fix this first. Right, so let's get this first job done. Right, that's on. It's not the right bolt, don't really care. It's in, ain't going anywhere, and now this car's at least drivable. So let's get the spacers on, new spacers on the Audi, and hopefully that won't go wrong either. Next. Just noticed in jacking it up is, good job I didn't drive this, because that's probably going to fucking fall off. Okay, good job I'm changing them. Yeah, so that's a problem. Difference between the two. This is the old one, 20 mil. This is the new one, 15 mil. As funnily enough, there's 5 mil difference. But I'm hoping, this being more slimlined, they'll be slightly better made, because these seem to always want to come undone. So let's fit those. And it probably looks no different to you, but you could maybe just see that it's now slightly in the arch. So I'm hoping we get less rubbish on that, because I really like these wheels. Look at them. Look at them. Beautiful. So let's get the other side done. I thought I can't actually fit down there with the jack, so I'm gonna have to pull the car out anyway. So I suppose there's one way to see if it grinds or rubs. Let's move it. Once for a cold start, isn't it? As well, so again, hopefully that makes a difference. I'm gonna have to take it for a test drive, see if it actually does make a difference first. This little thing decided to try and make an escape. Yes, Walter, you little pest. So I suppose before I take it for a test drive and see if that's actually made a difference, hopefully it has, because otherwise it's a complete pain in the arse really, and I don't feel like I'm making any progress. And that's kind of how it feels with the XC90 at the moment as well, because I needed like 2 to 3 days to take it off the road, because I've got, you know, new wishbones, track rail ends, drive shafts, bushes all at the front to change, and I didn't want to do that and have a break in between it, because you know what it's like, as soon as you stop because of the weather, like the car's just in pieces then, and I didn't want it in pieces. So I want somewhere inside to be able to do it. So I do need to change the gear knob, so I'm going to do that in a second because I've got a new gear knob, which is not really a needed thing, but it's just nice to be inside like that, isn't it? But there are things I actually need to do for the MOT. So I've got all that to do, but I just need a break in the weather. So then I just thought, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear out my other garage, because I'm fortunate enough to have two, which is where I currently have all my bikes, and then I'm going to use that space as somewhere that I can do my cars. And the difference between my two, I've got one garage which most of you have probably seen, but it's not very wide, so it's like I can't get a jack in, I can't get under the side of the car, and that just makes it impossible then to work on. So the other garage I have with my bikes, which I'll show in a second, it's much wider, so I want to clear that out. But to clear that out, there's years of tip crap in there, loads of stuff that I need to use this for. So what do I do first? Chicken and egg. Do I do this first, get all those things done, but I need the space to do it, all the weather. So I've had this whole thing recently where it's just been a fucking pain in the arse. So yeah, that's where I'm at. But let's go and look at the garage quickly. With the new slightly modified interior, I kind of feel like the thing letting it down the most is this rotten knob. And while it's not exactly needed and a slightly indulgent purchase, I've purchased a new knob. Well, apparently if you just wedge a screwdriver in there and break that clip off, the entire thing comes off. So there's that. Now I need to smash this off because I don't need this. Right, with that now off, I can actually just put my new one on, which is just Allen keyed, so it's much easier. I can just slip it over, so to speak, maybe. Oh, and then tighten. Now what I need to do is remove this plastic bit or the old gaiter from that and then stick it onto there. So let's try that. There we have old manky knob and manky gaiter, and new knob and new gaiter. Yeah, much better. Look at that. And this is where I spend most of the time actually doing some other things. However, it's like normal garage size width, which is annoying for a car. Other garage, which is much wider, but you can see my problem. So all of this needs to go to the tip. And obviously to go to the tip, I need to use my biggest car being my Volvo XC90. So I can't take it off the road until I do that. But there's been another issue, as fuck's sake, there's been so many issues. The final issue that I'm facing is just the other day I was listening to the XC90 and I started hearing a light knocking noise, and that was just idle, but there was a knocking coming from the engine. And that knock, I believe to be the bottom end bearings. That's what I think. I put an extra litre of oil in it. I thought it looked a bit low, which it was a bit low, and it does need a service. That's on my list. But it's got 230,000 miles, 370,000 kilometers on it, so I kind of feel like it does need them changing, especially if I'm going to take it 6,500 kilometers. That's quite a long way to risk being stuck somewhere where the bottom end shits itself. So I've ordered some bottom end bearings. So I'm in this predicament of like, I don't really want to use the car too much because I don't want to fucking completely fuck it. I need to change the bearings, the weather's been shit. So as you can imagine, I've been stuck in this place of, I've not really done much apart from trying to sort out everything with the road to rotary trip, which is equally a nightmare. I'll go in the video for next week where my K-truck is, what's going on with that, everything like that. But this is why it's been such a pain trying to get content out, because the weather's just been so terrible. I do have another room in there that I tend to use just for boxes, so I'm probably going to shift everything that's here into the next room, so at least then, if I need to, I'll have a bit more space here. The reason for that as well is I need more space because I want to paint the parts on the S4. I've got the paint, the thinners, the spray gun, the compressor. I even bought, yes, an inflatable spray tent, but again, I can't use that in the rain. So it's all weather dependent at the moment. I can't believe it's the 1st of June today. This video will be out tomorrow, and it's a pain in the arse. So this video hasn't really been much of anything. I've fitted the gear knob to the Volvo. I actually fixed the back seat of the Volvo as well. I did that before. It's a pain in the arse. Changed the wheels, the spacers on the X4, and fixed the suspension on the iGo. It's just tiny little bits, but I really want to get into the full stuff on the Volvo. It's just, I wish the weather would be okay. So I'm hoping this week I can actually get to clear this whole garage out. If I can clear the whole garage out, it'll be great. Then at least I've got a place to spray, do all my spray stuff. And yeah, we can actually see some progress on the cars. I want to get them knocked out. I still haven't heard anything back from Artic, so God knows what's happening with that. I've spent far too much money on everything. I'm about 2.5 grand down on the Volvo XC90 all in at the moment. So that's what I've spent, including buying the car, which isn't too bad. That's including all the parts I've got to fit as well. But that's obviously quite a lot. And I'll tell you in the next episode how much I've so far spent on the road to rotary and where the K-truck is and whatever's going on with that. That will come up in the next video, and hopefully I can clear this whole garage out. So next video you should see all this clear out. So we can fit this entire ton of parts to the Volvo as well, because that'll be good. Thanks very much for sticking with me. Like, this is just such a pain in the ass to try and get some momentum on all these different things. I'm gonna start making big progress soon as the weather turns a corner, and then we can at least see. I'm gonna be spraying the Volvo as well. That's gonna go a different color for the whole Arctic trip. So I'm really looking forward to the entire of that, because I've got an idea for that, and you'll have to wait and see, because I think it's a fucking brilliant idea. You might not agree, but that's coming as well. So I need to spray the panels on the Audi, fix the vacuum leak on that. I've got a new PCV valve to go on it, so that can go on there. So that'll be at least hopefully then drivable. So much to do on the Volvo. Who knows what's happening with Artic and the iGo, and I will fill you in on every single bit of progress with the road to rotary, because I have been slammed. And in about 4 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that, I'm going to be in Japan, and I'm going to take you guys with me. So a lot to come. I know this is much on this video. It's just the way it is sometimes, but I'm going to try and be consistent even if there isn't much to share. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.